Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where last episode we got our bugs fixed with the Kibo exposed facility, as well as our robotic arm here. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. For now, anyway. So what I want to do is I want to point at the target here, or not at the target, I want to point at relative velocity up. What direction are we actually going in here? Because we need to get this around and installed over here, now that we're in a position to actually get it installed. Keep in mind, this is the zenith side, so when we move this in, we're going to be bringing this in, I believe, from the opposite direction that we were going to before. Is this the correct position to do? Hang on. No, we needed to actually change which one of these that we were on, didn't we? Yes, we want to connect it here, not here. Okay, so in that case, what we want to do now is we're just kind of drifting this direction, and actually we're going this way? Which is kind of a wild direction to be going, but whatever. For the time being, what I want to do is I want to just undock from here, and we're just going to let that go for the moment. And we're going to set this as our target. Now, I'm going to kill Rot, and we're going to move slightly forward here, so we're going to need to go this way, but I don't want to clip this with our tail. So that's going to be a little bit concerning. We're going to have to go down as well, and potentially toss a little bit of roll in here. But I think broadly this directionality will be okay. Next, we're going to want to start to go up a bit here. So we're going to want to get rid of our downward momentum. We're going to want to start to go up, but we still want to have this forward momentum here. So that'll be okay. And we're going to want to start to turn our overall angling here. So we're going to want to, like, pitch up. We're going to need to go a little bit more forward, of course. Once we get into about this position here, we can start to go forward. There we go. I am a little bit concerned about clipping this with our tail. So for the moment, this is all I'm going to be doing. But we need to pitch it back up over here, and as we pitch around, this should get us approximately where we want to be. Approximately. We're not going to be in exactly the right angling, obviously. And in fact, missing over on this side is a good thing here. That gives us a little bit of extra space to work with. So I like it. Okay, we're just bringing this right on around. And we're going to need to not impact it, right? So let's just hold here for a moment. There we go. We're letting ourselves float right on by a little bit. And now we can continue our turn here. Now we're going to need to change our overall roll. And that'll need to be somewhere around here or so. Okay, and now we can change our pitch a little further. I think we're going to have to continue to drift a little beyond here. Otherwise, this isn't going to be quite where we want to be. Yeah, it's very, very close. But we're not quite there. So I'm just letting it drift a little bit further. We don't want to push this thing, right? That would be kind of bad. But we're just bringing this guy right on around. Cool. Oh, hello. We just got docking forces there. I didn't intend to get docking forces, but I guess we grabbed it there. That is definitely not exactly how I intended that to work, but it works. We'll go for it. That's fine. So now we need to unstrut this, because we need to position this slightly differently. So we'll position this strut out over here. I don't care what it connects to. Just nothing at all for right now. And then we're going to need to rotate this guy. And we might need to extend this vertically a little bit further. But we might not as well. I'm not exactly sure what directionality that's going to end up looking like. So let's get this turned around. This traverse rate is way too high, obviously. But let's get this turned right on around to 180 degrees. Okay. Somewhere around here, but I want it to go a little bit further, like 166, 158. Yeah, somewhere around here. That'll do. Next, let's hop back over to Bill, and let's get this thing stabilized. So we're going to grab our strut, and we're going to connect that from here, and it's going to connect up to about here. There we go. So that's nice and stabilized. Now we can think about bringing this in. So we want to take this down over here, right? So let's get ourselves into position here. We're going to need to set up our target. And for now, I would like to just grab this as our target. We're actually a little too far away, though. Okay, so let's just position our nose here. Be in kill rot, please. Okay, I'm just going to position our nose to be about... Need to go a little further down. And pitch up a little bit. Okay. This is better, but it's not exactly where I want to be. Just yawing our way over here. Okay, somewhere about here or so, but I want to... we're going to need to change this a little bit. No doubt about that. This is the wrong way. We're going to need to go up this direction. Okay, somewhere around here or so. And that's probably good enough, but what I really want to do is go down a little bit here. So we're going to be bringing this down this way. But awkward angles are awkward. No doubt about it. Okay, awkward angles are really awkward. I don't actually want to be going in any of these directions, but we'll call this good for now. We need to get in closer to the station. Okay, so we'll do something about like that. I want to grab our RCS here, but we need to get in close enough to set this as our target. Okay, there we go. Now we can see what our relative velocity looks like. We'll take this over to relative velocity minus. This is, of course, not our actual target, but we just need to get closer at this point. So that'll be fine, and I'm pretty sure we might have to... I'm thinking about the directionality of this. This is going to be the same problem as before, isn't it? Where we're going to need to come in on the other side. Interesting. Definitely intriguing. Okay, so let's bring down our speed a bit here. Well, we'll see what that ends up looking like. This is definitely the nadir side at this point, so we'll see. We can unextend this quite a bit here, actually. We have a fair amount of leeway there. So we probably are going to need to end up doing that, and that's reasonably fine. So let's have Bill EVA here. And I'm going to temporarily remove this strut. And yes, this thing's going to start waving around like a crazy thing. Come on, strut. There you go. And we're going to unextend this some amount. Down to like half. Let's see what that ends up looking like. What would it look like if we unextended it all the way? I feel like that's a little too close. We might not have the room there. but here is probably decent. Okay, so that gives us a little bit of extra space. We can change it if we need to. Okay, Bill, I'm going to need you to stabilize this again. So we're going to put our strut in about here. There we go. And we are relatively stable there. Now, of course, we're going to need to turn over this direction. And what direction is what here? Things should be not reversed at this moment, I think. Okay. So we're just bringing this right on in. And then a little bit on the up vector here. Right about there. Okay, I'm going to burn us in here. What are you doing? Why are you going to relative velocity minus? Okay, don't do that. Sit on kill rot. Okay. This is approximately the direction that I want to be going. Approximately. But I want the actual directionality to be right about here. Okay, now you can go around to relative velocity minus. Okay. And we can bring this in. We'll see if we have enough room to bring it in like this. If we don't, then what is our goal? Well, we would need to rotate it with the arm, and that's something we can do. So that would be okay. We can definitely do that. Now that our arm isn't broken, we have options. So I want to set this docking port as our real target here. And I want to warp a bit forward here. Let's get in some space. Okay, we're about 70 meters away right now. 60 meters away. 50. And obviously we can see that our angling isn't exactly right. But that's not shocking. We don't expect it to be. We're just trying to get over on this correct side. Okay, let's bring this down to a halt at this time. And then let's see what this is going to end up looking like. Okay, this is probably good enough, to be honest. So at this point, I want to head, I think, a little bit forward. Yeah, there we go. That's 0.0. So now RCS can be off, and we want to... No, RCS can be off, and we can bring this in and rotate it to be approximately where it's going to end up going. So that's going to end up meaning that this rotates in like this, right? But it's also going to have to be spun to go down here. But I think just with our different angle, we're going to be considerably lower than we were before because we have a substantially different angle here. Okay, so it's going to end up being about like that. And of course, we're going to have to yaw it up this way a little bit. And then we're going to have to change our pitch. But that is very expected. So then that's going to end up being over here. We're going to have a lot more room. A whole lot more room. So that is absolutely phenomenal. Let's get this lined up. This is approximately correct. Now I want to control from here. Oh yeah, that's pretty decent as it is. Let's bring that in and we can evaluate it as we come in. So we can head in towards this target. I want to check our roll here, but I think the roll is probably pretty good. It's not perfect, but it is decent. And I think we have lots and lots of room here. We're going to have to go a little bit this way, I'm pretty sure, which from this perspective is what direction? It's going to end up being... Let's see, that's forward. None of these feel correct, but it's actually this one. Okay. So we're going to have to head over this direction a little bit. That is expected. Not all that far, though, to be honest. We're pretty close. So it's going to end up being approximately here or so. Let's bring that back around. And I want to point at target here. Okay. So we're bringing that back around, and let's accelerate into the target a little bit. Up to around a quarter meter per second, a third of a meter per second, somewhere in there. That'll be okay. We've got lots of room to make this happen this time, now that we're actually able to control what angle this is at. Amazing how that works. And I'm just checking our angle lineup here. It looks good, to be honest. It looks very, very good. I think there's no problem whatsoever here. The only problem that we might run into is our nose sticking out too far and hitting up here, but I don't think it will. Like, this is quite long. So I think we have the room to just sneak in here. How are we doing on this angling? Okay, we need to go further this direction at this time. And that was this way, virtually up. Okay. So over we go. We're just getting into position here. We definitely need to go further over here. We can see that this is pretty skewed, actually, so we definitely need to continue to move here. It can be a little bit hard to tell, but it does look broadly like a good angle. Broadly. Okay, we are pretty close to being right on the money here. Let's bring this up. Set ourselves to be heading directly for target here at about a third of a meter per second. And that should be broadly fine. So I'm just thinking about our angling here. I think our angling is pretty close to being right on. We can maybe tweak it over this way a tiny, tiny bit. But it wouldn't want to be much. Kind of like that. That might be too much. Somewhere around here. I think that's pretty close. Making some small tweaks to our heading as we come in. But it looks like we've got plenty of room to do this. So that's fantastic. Plenty of room indeed. And in we go, at long last. This one has taken a while. No doubt about it. It was pretty awkward. But I don't think we'll have any further issues here. Maybe we end up impacting here? Actually, we kind of are looking like we will. We'll see. If we need a little more space here, we can get it. But I think we're okay. Yep. Fantastic. We are docked at long last. So in terms of the angling there, it's pretty close. It's not perfect, but it doesn't need to be. So that's okay. At this point now we need to get the shuttle out of here, right? The shuttle is kind of awkwardly positioned. So I want build to EVA here. And we're going to strut this thing into position on the station instead of being strutted to the shuttle. So I'm going to first remove this strut. And we're going to take that from here. It does not want to attach here, but we can put it here. There we go. As soon as the game gets caught up, we can attach that here. Cool. Now I'm going to grab this strut. And we're going to attach that one over on this side. So I think attaching it from, like... where are we? from about here should work. There we go. And then that will get strutted directly to the rest of the station. About like that. Okay. Now we can remove this strut. There we go. And I don't really care where this strut goes. I'll put it in here for now. Now we can push out away from the station a little bit, which will, of course, be the goal here. We can see that we're currently clipped into the station, which is definitely not ideal. I'm going to push this out a little bit here. We're going to have to choose our time of detachment very carefully, because all of this is happening. Okay. We're going to need to freeze our physics at a certain point. The shuttle has decided that it wants to be very, very awkward. Okay, freezing the physics here. And I'm going to undock. Okay. Now we need to get the shuttle out of here, right? So RCS, and we're going to kill rot. And we're just going to pull backwards here. I'm also going to retract this to get us a little bit more space. And we're going to need to fold this down, so this needs to get brought around to, like, 0. There we go. And apparently that's not actually spinning this. Okay, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I guess we can clip this inside. That's reasonably fine. I guess this is still a little bit broken. But it did suit our purposes. So that's all good. I do want to get a little bit of vertical momentum here so that we don't clip this. There we go. And pulling further away from the station here. Excellent. We should be clear now. So I'll hop back over to the station, and I'm going to extend this solar panel. We're not quite clear to extend this one yet, but it's close. Okay. Still not quite as clear as I'd like to be, but it should be okay. There we go. And now, at long last, we can bring these guys home. So that is absolutely going to be the goal here. Let's head over towards orbital retrograde. The real question is, what direction is that going to be in? The answer is this direction. Okay, we're going to need to continue to get distance from the station. I don't think we quite have enough time to fully bring this down. Oh, we still have this experiment storage unit. Where was that intended to go? I think it was intended to go out over here. Okay, let's, for the moment, let's grab... Come here. Set as target. Okay. Let's go to target velocity minus... Is this not target velocity minus? Oh, we're going to target. I want relative velocity minus. Okay. We're going to be kind of awkward here. Okay. Go ahead and point at target, I guess. And we're just going to bring this in a little bit here. 1.2 meters per second is maybe a little bit much. Okay, let's back off on that a bit. And we need to figure out where exactly this thing goes. Apparently that physics warp just killed our frame rate. Okay, good to know, but we're right at the end of the episode here. I just want to figure out where exactly this experiment storage unit ends up going. And then we can bring these guys home next episode. But we finally managed to get this thing put together. That was definitely much more intense than anticipated. Pretty much exclusively, of course, because of that bug. No doubt about that. So I want to bring our velocity over this direction a little bit. So, like, away from the station. I just want to bring us alongside the station. I don't want to impact the station. So we'll just warp forward a little bit here. Okay. And we can bring this right on down. Okay. We're pretty close here. I don't know where exactly this guy goes at this point. I think it goes over on this far side. I'm pretty sure. So let's just get a little bit closer in here. Okay. And let's bring this down to a halt. So right about there. That'll do. Bill, I want you to EVA. Yeah, it goes right here. Okay. So you can let go. Boy, this frame rate has gone downhill since that physics warp. Definitely good to know that that happens. Okay. I would like him to go grab, go sit up here, ideally. So I'm going to grab this out of here. And for now, I'm just going to attach it there. Because while we're moving here, it's very, very hard to tell where this sort of thing should go. Okay, Bill. Anytime you want to finish your weld animation, that would be great, because I want you to go sit on this ladder. Okay, you got it? Bill, this frame rate is very difficult to control him with. Okay. Cool. Just grab on here. There you go. Okay. Now that we're grabbed on, we can grab this thing, and we can just put it right where it goes, which is right there. Okay. Do we need to change the angling on it? Nah, that's good enough. Beautiful. Okay, Bill is now completed here. So let's head back to the shuttle, and let's not break anything, ideally. So back to the shuttle we go. Boy, it's difficult to fly with this frame rate. But okay. Almost there? Okay, we made it to the shuttle. Fantastic. Now, with the frame rate being this low, I'm not going to attempt to bring this thing home until next episode, since we need a game restart anyway, clearly. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video. Did I get everybody there? I was distracted by some steering. I'm not sure if I did. If I missed you, I apologize. I did not intend to. But, of course, also, you. So you are covered in that, right? If you'd like to, I completely messed this up. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I'll see you all next time. Got there in the end, but that got exciting. I was very distracted by some prevention of hitting the station. And luckily, we didn't hit the station. We can hop over here real quick and see. Yep, we're moving away from the station. Perfect. This is the wrong button. Okay, I'm ending this. See you all next time.